Mirror goblins. I'm telling this story here because I've never heard anybody mention anything similar. I was wondering if anybody knew anything about the mirror goblins. I don't believe in ghosts, that the dead get up to stuff, which is why I'm not posting to one of the paranormal subs. That being said, it might be nice to have somebody else's 2 cents. I've always been afraid of mirrors. I've always seen things in reflections, usually just for a movement when I glance at them in passing. When I was younger, I saw things that were more upsetting. I saw a lot of unusual stuff in my parents' very scary basement, but that doesn't really bother me. Of course, you see scary things in a scary basement. What does kind of bother me is what I would see in the very normal bathroom mirror that my parents used to have. That's where I would see the mirror goblins. When I was really little, they would run away when I got close to the mirror and I couldn't get a good look at them. When I was a little older, around 8 or 9, they started to linger, and I felt that they were trying to make eye contact with me. I'm calling them mirror goblins because I like how the name sounds, but I'm not sure if goblin is the right word. They are small men about the size of a cat. Some were green, some were gray, some were flesh-colored. Some had cloths, some rags, and some were naked. All of them had long limbs, little button noses, and always with a big smile. I never felt like they would hurt me, but I thought that if I made eye contact with them, they might try to talk to me. I knew that nothing good would happen if they talked to me. So if I saw them in the mirror, it was maybe 2 times a week. I just wouldn't look. I would do things like brush my teeth in the hall, open the medicine cabinet when I was using the toilet, or disrobe behind the shower curtain. I didn't acknowledge them to anybody, and they never spoke to me. They scared me quite a bit, but then again, a lot of things did when I was a kid. Suddenly, when I was 12, I stopped seeing them. This seemed normal. When you're growing up, you stop seeing monsters. So for a few years, I mostly got over my fear of that mirror, used it as normal, and didn't see anything strange. I noticed something else around sophomore year of high school. Some pretty awful things happened around then, and I stopped smiling. That's not really true, of course. I would smile when I was laughing or having fun. It was just my resting face that became pretty glum. But even so, my reflection kept smiling. But only in that bathroom. When I walked past my reflection, it would often be smiling for a second before it became my gloomy resting face. It made me uneasy, but not enough that I avoided looking in the mirror like I did when I was a kid. The bad stuff continued in my life, and I was only feeling worse and worse. My reflection smiled longer and longer. By senior year, sometimes it would take half a minute to stop smiling. It really started to really piss me off. I was miserable, and it was only my face in the mirror that got to be so happy. I was getting more annoyed about this, but around February of my senior year, something happened that scared the shit out of me. I was in the bathroom at around 4 in the morning due to horrible insomnia, staring at my reflection. It just wouldn't stop smiling. After a while, it started laughing. And laughing. What I remember most clearly is how silent the house was. No fan, no clock ticking, and no laughing. What I think is the weirdest about this is that I didn't feel anything. I wasn't scared or annoyed by this at all. I felt nothing. When I woke up for school, there was blood on my pillow and dried trickles of blood on my chest. In the bathroom, there was a pristine razor blade on the sink, and in the mirror there were cuts all over my face. The thing is that I had no idea where the blade could have come from. I had only ever seen them in box cutters, and there wasn't a box cutter at my parents' house. I actually looked all over and couldn't find one. It wasn't until years later that I was going through the medicine cabinet behind my parents' mirror and found a slit in the wall that was filled with loose razor blades. Back in the day, I guess they used to put old blades in the wall because you can't put sharps in the regular trash. What that doesn't explain is that the razor blades in the medicine cabinet were rusted and dull, but the one on the sink had been in perfect shape. Otherwise, they looked the same. So I still don't know what to make of that. I told everyone the cuts on my face were from falling in a blackberry bush. I doubt anyone believed me because the cuts were straight and uniform, but nobody said anything. A few days later, I was feeling like cat piss emotionally, so I left school early, went home, and took a shower. I looked in the fogged-up mirror, and there was a small gray blurry figure standing behind me in the reflection. This jump scared me so bad I hit the mirror on impulse, shattering it. I had a few cuts from the glass on my hands and torso, but this was nothing compared to how incredibly embarrassed I was. Waiting for my mom to come home to tell her that I got spooked and punched the mirror. I was expecting her to get mad, to tell me I had to pay to get it replaced, but when I told her, she just looked worried, said it way okay. Neither of us have mentioned it again. My reflection returned to normal after the mirror was replaced, other than a little movement in the corner of my eye that I think is normal to see in all mirrors. I went to college, started feeling better, and now I work in education. I had honestly forgotten all about my mirror issues. I've been living at my current apartment with my partner for 2 years now, and the mirror is the same as when we moved in, a broken shard from a larger mirror that is painted to the wall. Yesterday, I saw a mirror goblin. This time I looked at him. This time he spoke. Wait,